An architect is a jack of all trades. I'm sure you're familiar with that phrase. It deals a lot with your thought process. So, and for you to be distinct in fashion too, you have to have a very good creative thought process. Because we all know how the drill goes when they say, okay, the client has a brief, he wants his house in the middle of the water, he wants it like the shape of a shark. You know, it's all those things. They are the things that actually help your creative process. So, like I said, there is no design is original.
True.
Even in architecture as well, there is no design that is original. But what people fail to get is the fact that I can take an original design and tweak it to be my own.
Point.
That even the original owner of the design, we have no clue that product was being inspired by his product. So the difference now is a lot of people just say, oh, I like this stuff, and they just pick it and they replicate it. That way you are not being creative. At some point in my fashion career, it was like we had people just waiting for me to post, just waiting for me to do all the hard work, and they just do copy and paste, you know.
Good day, people. Welcome to another episode of Life Moments with Timi. I'm your host again, Oluwatimileyin Ayekita, and today I have my guy, a great person. I think I will just let you introduce yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Dotun Adeyeye. I like to introduce myself in full, but people call me Dotun for short. And I am many things. So first off, I'm an architect, a trained architect. I'm also a fashion designer. I'm the creative director of the famous brand FreshbyDotun.
FBD for short.
Yeah, FBD for short. And I do a lot of things, a lot of businesses and all that. So
okay. Dotun, thank you for being here with us. And I was just trying to think about it too. That I think the first time we met was in December 2012. Yeah, 2012. I think we didn't start speaking until around 2014. And if you look at it, that's like 10 years. That's 10 years. Wow.
Yeah, over a decade actually.
Time flies, really. So, really, I just want to understand how it was like growing up in the Adeyeye's house.
Yeah, growing up for me was fun, and I would say we were what the Yoruba calls
Ajebota.
So we're like the indoor. No, I won't say Ajebota, but we're just very cultured. Okay. Like my dad was a disciplinarian, and he always wanted. Yes, so you know. Imagine being a military man at the same time being a lawyer. So you have to, you have to
come prepared.
Exactly. You have to be disciplined. You have to be on your best behavior. So then it was like a calculated move for us. We have every second matters. Like time to read your books, time to go out. You know, when you go out, you must come back before a certain time. Time to sleep, time to watch the news. So it was fun, and I think it's made us bond as a family. We are 5, father, mother, 3 kids. I happen to be the last
baby of the house.
And we myself and my siblings, we went to the same primary school. We went to 2 secondary schools, and we all went to the same secondary school. Then I think it was after secondary school, everybody was like, oh, I've had enough.
Go your separate
I want
ways.
to be on my own. This person is going to this uni, the other person is going to that uni. and all that. So growing up has been fun, and we're well traveled as well. My dad, as a military man, moved from place to place. So my early years were in the north, and that made me not understand Yoruba on time. Even though when I started learning Yoruba, or when I started understanding Yoruba, it was more of my dad, because we had our grandmom staying with us and all that. But I would say growing up was fun, and I won't trade it for anything.
That works. So, how did you stumble on fashion? Like, where did Fresh by Dotun walk us through all that? Fresh by Dotun, fashion. How did you stumble on that? How did you get that started, really? If you can just break it down for us.
Okay. Let me say Fresh by Dotun is different from, I'd like to separate it. Fresh by Dotun is the business part of the fashion for me. But I've always been a fashion conscious person, right from my early days. I've always wanted to look the best when I step into the room. So fashion for me, a lot of people say fashion for them is inborn. I will say that as well. It's what's the phrase? Na follow come. So for me, fashion is inbuilt. So while in uni, we could start a fashion brand, and it was looking like a child's play till I started getting comments and like, I love what you're wearing. How can I get that piece? And I'm like, I can have it done for you, because it's like I'm buying a piece and having it altered. Then I was like, okay, can I get someone to actually replicate what's my thought process? And that was how it all started for me. And we started making money, and I took it more serious. So that's why I'm saying I'm separating the fashion from Fresh by Dotun. Fresh by Dotun actually started as a proper business when I made my first million naira in fashion.
Heavy.
So it was like child's play too. Referrals. So I have this guy, he can hook you up, he can do great stuff for you. And I always used to say that the person that gave me my first 1 million, I'm sure he doesn't even know.
Baba thought you were made. Baba no. Baba was looking at you with the eye of bros.
Yeah, so it was at that point, it was looking like, this guy is made already, even if I give him this money, it doesn't.
You will not know that you did not sleep.
Yeah. But yeah, so not like I could not sleep, because at some point I think I saw I could read the vision, like this is going to lead to something great, but I didn't know it would come that early. So for me, that was the point that I decided that, if this thing can bring so much money with just the basic structure, I think I should actually put a structure in place to make it a solid business. And I think that was how Fresh by Dotun turned out to be a proper fashion brand.
That's something.
Yeah, so it actually built my confidence, and I felt, okay, if a stranger can believe so much in you and give you this kind of money. I'm talking about over 10 years ago, so we all know what a million naira is then. So yeah,
that was the big break. Okay, so studying architecture now, because when you look at architecture and fashion, balancing a fashion brand and architecture, because I know that you're still a practicing architect. So how balancing architecture, fashion, and all these things, that's why I call you a maestro, because it's a lot. It can be a lot, really.
Back then in school, when they say an architect is a jack of all trades. I'm sure you're familiar with that phrase. So even back then in school, when studying architecture, we know that we mix a little bit of science and a little bit of arts. So architecture has been an all-encompassing kind of course that makes you, it deals a lot with your thought process. So, and for you to be distinct in fashion too, you have to have a very good creative thought process. So for me, being an architect and same time a fashion designer, the process is just seamless. Because we all know how the drill goes when they say, okay, a client has a brief, he wants his house in the middle of the water, he wants it like the shape of a shark. You know, it's all those things. They are the things that actually help your creative process. So for us, I think it's easier to see the end of your imagination before you even start. So fashion and architecture go hand in hand.
Okay.
Yeah, if you are not creative, you can't be an architect. Same as fashion. If you are not creative, you will just be a copy and paste tailor.
But you know, creative, you have to copy too. Like sometimes.
Like I said, there is no design is original.
True.
Even in architecture as well, there is no design that is original. But what people fail to get is the fact that I can take an original design and tweak it to be my own.
Point.
That even the original owner of the design, we have no clue that product was being inspired by his products. So the difference now is a lot of people just say, oh, I like this stuff, and they just pick it and they replicate it. That way you are not being creative. But that's why I tell most of my clients that if they bring a job for me, maybe probably from someone else, I try and convince them that I understand that this is what you want, but can we just tweak it a little bit?
Okay.
Do you understand? So it won't just be like, oh, someone just... At some point in my fashion career, it was like we had people just waiting for me to post, just waiting for me to do all the hard work, and they just do copy and paste, you know.
You know when it was real for me was, I remember one time that a friend of mine wanted me to patronize her. And I was like, okay, let me see what you can do. Send me some of the work you've done. Only for her to be sending me images of you. And I'm like, this is my guy. This is the person I use. And I'm like, you can't be sending me my own fashion designer and expect me. So I noticed that she apparently just Googled you and just brought out images. And also, if you remember, there was a time we walked into a store in Dubai and the guy was trying to advertise to us like an African attire and put out your picture. He put out your picture and I'm like, imagine, why would you? That's when it dawned on me that Dotun is blown. Like, Dotun is blown. Like, how random can you be in Dubai and you bring out a picture and it is the same person standing before you?
Yeah, it was even actually from a magazine. Also.
It looked like maybe one of your book or something. It was because he showed us on the phone. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like, what are the odds? It just shows that what started small seemingly has grown really big, and that's really it. Really, that's really it. All right, Dotun. So you've discussed a lot, but now I want to go personal. So, you've not really discussed your personal life. So let's start with your wife.
What do you want to know about my personal life?
How did you choose your wife? How did you choose your wife?
I don't think I've ever discussed this on should I say live TV?
That's why you're on live moments. So
okay, so I met my wife on Facebook. Strange enough. I met her on Facebook.
Zook, you are doing things.
How we met was quite funny. She was actually looking for a friend that has my surname, and my name just popped up, and she was like, okay, let me just send this guy.
But what are the odds that she didn't see Francis?
Yeah, she sent a friend request to her husband.
And every other thing is history.
It's history. So I think I just got out of a relationship as at then, and she sent the request. I accepted, but we didn't talk for a long time. And I remember one Sunday I was online and she was online as well, and hi, hello, how's your Sunday going? And there was just this connection. The conversation went very smoothly, and I remember me asking her for her number, and she refused to give me. Like, hello stranger, why should I give you my number? So we got talking, and one day I was like, since you refuse to give me your number, here's my number. Anytime you want to call, just call. And she didn't call me for weeks, but we were talking almost every day. And funny how the day she eventually called me, the moment she said hello, I said Nifemi. And she was like, how did you know? And all that. And well, the rest is history. After a year, we started dating, and we're here today. So I chose Nife, back to the basic, because Nife has always given me peace of mind. She's my peace of mind. You know, when the Bible says, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. I found my good thing.
Favor from the Lord.
Yeah, I found my good thing with Nife, and the rest is history. With Nife, I feel I'm in my safe space. There is just this happiness around her, and we bond so much that at times we communicate without even talking. So she knows me so well, I know her so well, and regardless, we've been happy. I've known her for 14 years and counting. Yeah.
That's a decade plus. Okay, so we've covered a bit of your personal life. We want to go also. So how does faith and fresh intertwine? How do I say it? Everybody has a dependent on something, and to a certain extent, I know you. So, Dotun, are you a spiritual person? Is there a spiritual side to Dotun? Is there something that you are calling on in the secrets that people don't know?
Okay, I'm a very spiritual person.
Gang.
I know a lot of people don't see me in that light, but I am a very spiritual person. You are my guy, you should know. We pray together, but a lot of people just see the other part of. I'm in the entertainment / fashion industry, so you don't expect me to. And I would like to correct this notion. A lot of people like to see Christians in a certain light. So it's like, oh, you are a man of God, why are you dressed this way? You are a child of God.
That one is
you say what?
That one is just it's just funny.
Okay, so like I said, I am a very spiritual person. I grew up in a Christian home, and right from time, my mom has always drawn us to Christ.
More money, yeah.
Yes. So my dad wasn't really spiritual back then. Goes to church once a year. To the crossover nights, but he has always believed in having a good heart. And my dad is the person that checks your Christianity in such a way that you'll be like, oh, you are doing this, and you say you're a Christian. Like it puts you in check.
And Baba no too strong like that.
Baba, do you understand? So
Baba na spiritual police.
Yeah. So, but he always hates hypocrites. He doesn't like people that pretend. He doesn't like the fact that you say you are a Christian, but you are doing this, you are doing this. He said, even if you are not a Christian, you know that is not right. But right now, you are now saying you are a Christian and you are doing something like that. Do you understand? So for growing up, I've gone through different crusades. I've attended Rambonki crusades back in Zaria. I've attended a lot of, so I have that Christian background. But growing up, growing up was funny because
your laugh is funny.
I won't say it was peer pressure. I would just say it was something I wanted to, out of being inquisitive. Oh, let's try out this thing. Let's see how it goes. Let's try out this thing. So I won't say it was peer pressure. Peer pressure is when people force you to do things because they feel if you don't do this, you are not a cool kid. But mine wasn't because of peer pressure. I was just,
you are the one pressuring people.
If you see it like that. But I was even grateful that I did all what I did in my early years, and I got to realize that there is more to life than just living a wayward life. And life is more spiritual than we think. We cannot, in quotes, gain the whole world and lose our soul. So I have a very spiritual, I'm a child of grace. That's why things come to me easily. But it's not just that I'm sleeping and waking and these things are coming to me easily. It's grace. Do you understand?
It's a relationship.
And it takes God to be by your side.
It's a relationship.
To have that, the relationship with God, to have that kind of grace. So I would say I am a very spiritual person. I believe in God. And my goal in life is to not be found wanting on the last day.
You see, not to be found wanting on the last day.
Yes, there's an afterlife.
Yeah.
So,
and we believe in Jesus.
Yeah, we believe in Jesus.
We believe in Jesus as our Lord. That's so good. I like the fact that we have people that are doing great things, that are not shying away from what they believe and all that. I don't want this interview to run too long because I know we would have to have you back, because I've seen that there are some aspects that we've not still touched that I want us to touch. But finally, I want to say, what has been the impact on your faith moving abroad? Or let me put it like this, because I know now you shuttle between Nigeria and
we are global citizens.
So
you say, what has been my impact in my global movement?
In your global movement. Okay, so what has been the impact on your spiritual life in your global movement? Because there's this narrative that is painted that when people come to the abroad, or people are frequent in the abroad, they forget their faith. Would you say you are a better Christian even after your globalization, or how do you wait?
So for me, I would say I am a better Christian, and being a better Christian, or let me say, my global movement, I don't want to say I am now settled here or there.
Yeah,
You
because I
understand?
know that most times you wake up and Dotun is in the US, you wake up is in Nigeria, you wake up is in Morocco.
But the thing about, let me use the word, the Western world, is the fact that there's a kind of structure in place that makes people feel if you don't go by these rules, you will not achieve certain goals. Okay. So a lot of people don't believe in God. They don't believe there is a supreme being. They just believe that everything works according to the system. Fine, there's a structure and there's a system. But the fact is, a lot of people still find grace in that system. So Nigerians or black people, they pray for prosperity without actions. They pray for they pray for the basic things in life, but it's different in the Western world. So a lot of people get to the Western world and just feel, I don't need to talk to God. All I need to do is to take shifts. All I need to do is to do this. But for me, being in the Western world has, first off, it made me closer to my family. Because I believe back home, you can just wake up 9 p.m. and say you are going to chill somewhere. It's different here. Everybody, time is money. So everybody they are so conscious with how they spend their time. So a lot of people tend to use that time to bond with family. And in the process of bonding with family, you get to know each other better and you get to understand that, okay, let's do things this way. Morally, it has put me in a certain light that I'm like, you don't even have to be a Christian. I'm just saying this. You don't have to be a Christian to do these moral things, because your life is now structured in a certain way. You know that today you are going to work, tomorrow so time is for so thing. So me being in the Western world has strengthened I don't have time. I can't remember when last I went to club. I can't remember when last I did a lot of things that I feel was normal back home. Do you understand? So I think I've found more time for God. Being in the Western world, I've been able to join a unit in my church.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah, so that has actually brought me closer to God. I just, the spare time I have right now is for God. It's not for parties, it's not for anything, and it has just made me a more focused person. So I would say coming to the Western world has been a blessing. It has strengthened my faith, and it has made my family bond stronger.
So it means you didn't even fit into the narrative, the statistics that they're going.
No. For some people, they will say coming to the Western world will break you, but for me, it's made me. Yeah.
Preach it, sir.
For me, it made me. Yeah.
Okay, so now that we've come to this point, I want to just give you, if you had the word listening to you right now, and you had 1 minute to say something to the world, what would you say? What would that message be?
Okay, I would say that there is more to life than just living for vanity. And when I say there is more to life than just living for vanity, I understand that we all want to be prosperous, we all want to be the best in our field, but let's not forget that the main goal is the heavenly race. So as much as we chase our field, let's also have a spiritual impact in people that surround us. Maybe your workers, your friends, whoever you know you can help, whoever you come in contact with, basically. So there is more to life than just chasing vanity. I know a lot of people will say vanity is sweet, but let's not forget that from dust we came, from to dust we shall return.
And we'll give account of this life. We'll give account of this life.
Exactly.
So, Dotun, I want to appreciate you for taking our time to be with us today. I know it's not easy, but thank you very much. Hopefully, we get you again, because there are a lot of things I still want to touch. I still want us to catch up on a lot of things, but thank you very much. And I just want to thank you guys for always being here to listen to us as we do this week in, week out. I remain Oluwa Timileyin Ayekiton, and you can follow Dotun on Fresh by Dotun on Instagram, I think on Twitter, and most of all his pages or his social media handles is Fresh by Dotun. And follow us too on social media, Live Moments with Timi on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and everything on Facebook, Live Moments with Timi. Till we'll meet again, till we see next week with another episode, having another great guest. See you. God bless.
Peace, y'all.
Dotun, thanks. I appreciate it.